Good evening, everyone. T-Rob here with the Biz Pulse. And I am glad you're here. I just want to say that first off. And I always want to throw this out there. You're loved. People love you. Keep your head up. I want to throw some positive out tonight. So tonight in the studio, I've got Sheri Michele, CEO and founder of Sudden Success Business Solutions, a woman-owned enterprise, which I love. I love talking to powerful women, and she's going to bring it. And we're going to learn a lot from her. We're going to talk about, helping business owners thrive, but a lot of different stuff. So I'm going to quit gabbing because you probably don't come on here for me. So I'm going to go ahead and get Sheri in here, and we're going to talk to this powerful young lady. There she is. There she is.
Hey!
Sheri Michele, thank you for coming on the Biz Pulse. So glad
Thank
to
you
have
for
you.
having me. Thank you
Yeah.
for having me. How's everybody?
Well,
It's a beautiful day today.
yeah. It's I'm in Texas and it's actually cold today. It's kind of weird. But
What part? Because I'm in Dallas.
oh, okay. I'm in Corpus Christi.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's thinking about 50 degrees.
Yeah. It's been windy and just nasty today. So but thanks for coming on. I want to talk to you. I just want to know who you are and tell me what Sheri does and all that fun, good stuff.
Yes. So I am Sheri Michele. I started my business and it kind of grew out of failure. And I like to start off with that because I know there's so many people dealing with the fear of failure. It's part of making this thing happen. Like you can't you can't move past that part. So my company really, the starting story was 2017, and I got funded $130,000 to get my business started.
Wow, that's great.
And I was super excited. Oh yeah, I was super excited. I had a retirement party. I quit my job. Like I was just like, I'm out.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'm going to get a house. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to make $1 gazillion, and I'm just going to be rolling in the money. So the person who told me about real estate investing, like all 700 of them on the telemarketing commercials,
Yeah.
all of them did not mention the bad part of real estate, which is what I found.
You learned in the middle of the fire, sounds like.
Oh yes, I was Joan of Arc. Okay, like it was terrible. So I lost over $100,000 in my first flip.
Goodness.
All of the money plus some. And so I had to make a decision on what I was going to do next because that was a huge blow. And so from that, I learned things about business credit because I did not know about business credit before. And now my personal credit is just like out the water.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to learn a different way. So I learned that. And then I started helping entrepreneurs learn that. And as I was teaching them that, I was like, wow, people really don't know how to set up their companies. So from me figuring out what people did not know, I've grown a company that helps small businesses get started, and we offer services to take them from zero all the way to the 7 and 8 figure mark.
Wow, that's great. And isn't it amazing that you used like your learning? I mean, terrible at the time. I'm sure it wasn't a fun learning experience, but
No,
the best people in business, that's their background though. Like you go through the wars and then you can help people like, hey, I've been there, done that. Let me show you what not to do. So yeah.
absolutely. And from that, I will tell people in a heartbeat that you are not really in business until your business makes you cry.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. So your website, it's suddensuccess.com, right? That's
Yes,
okay.
it's
Okay.
success.com.
Okay. I wanted to make sure I got that right. I don't want to put up the wrong one. So um so with that learning experience, how long did it take you from like when that happened to like just diving in and going with the full business and starting to teach people?
So when I finally accepted my defeat with the house and I was having my moment,
Mm-hmm.
when I was in, like, this was right immediately after the fetal position where
Yeah,
I felt hopeless.
I understand.
I decided that I was going to really dedicate myself to the business and really be like, okay, this is a point where if you was gonna stop, this is it. This is a hard bottom. Um, or we can do something different because you're gonna come back.
Mm-hmm.
And for all of I say there's two type of entrepreneurs: the ones that are born and the ones that are made. I'm born. Us natural born entrepreneurs, we're coming back.
Sure.
We are. So I had to be like, Sheri, you're coming back. So let's not quit this time. Let's keep going. And let's just any decision you make going forward has to have your business in mind. So that was in 2019.
Okay.
I was making really good money in 2019. And an opportunity came at the end of that year, which was about 4 months after I made this promise to myself, where I could work from home as a
Nice.
contractor. I was making less money, but I was working from home and could make my own schedule. So I said, okay, that's going towards the business direction. I can now work and make an income and start trying to figure out this business thing.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I grew. I gradually grew. Nobody um I literally stumbled all the way up the stairs.
Hey, that's okay. I mean,
So and I know there are some 9 to 5ers who are listening, because some people, you'll hear all those podcasts where they'll be like, hey, jump out, just go all in. And I'm sitting here like, if that ain't the dumbest thing to tell somebody, like, that's just stupid.
yeah.
No, do not do that. Do not do that.
Yeah.
If you were saying today was the day, it ain't. It ain't today. This is your sign you're wrong.
It's funny you say that, Sheri, because most people don't understand how many times, like, even very successful business people fail. Like, like if you line up, like even Elon Musk, he's got a lot of failures. I mean, it's
He
like,
was sleeping on somebody's couch running a
right,
9-figure business.
right. So it's people just don't understand it, because I deal with people too. I'm a coach as well, and like people think, oh, I'm gonna start a business, I'm gonna be rich. Like, no, you're not. You're gonna work your butt off, and maybe you'll do. It's a mindset thing.
It's definitely a mindset thing. And there's a couple of things that I always tell people when I say you're going to start in this journey. My go-to advice. So I'm going to share with y'all today because I share with everybody. Number one, pick a really, really, really healthy vice, because you're going to use it.
Yeah, that's
So
that's smart.
if you get into business and you know that that's the journey you're going on, I would start cycling or going to the gym now. Make that the habit first.
Yeah, yeah,
Because if you don't, there's gonna be some habits you pick up to
yeah.
cope with the insanity that this is.
Probably the wrong habits, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm telling you, this is advice. Don't be hard headed. That's number 2. Because entrepreneurs are hard headed.
Oh man, aren't we? I mean, like, people can't. Yeah, yeah. I definitely know that for sure.
You'd
So,
be like, okay. And you have to do it like this. Okay, no
uh-huh.
problem.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Sure, yeah.
Like,
Then
I'll
it's
see you
like,
in 6 months and we'll have this conversation again.
right, right. Ain't that the truth? So tell me what your business does. I mean, what services do you offer?
Absolutely. So we offer LLC creation.
Okay.
We help with branding. We help with automation. We help with the little stuff that you don't think are all of the that components of business. And
Hmm.
then once you are good and got your business together and you know what direction it's headed in, we have a virtual assistant staffing agency because I believe in delegating to properly grow your business. So we help with that so that you can be working your 9 to 5 and have somebody else running your business while you're doing
Okay. Well, I like that because I mean, I feel like there's more people using VAs, but I don't think they understand how to use VAs a lot of times.
it. And we help with that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, because I've been guilty of it too. Like I'll
Me
bring
too.
a VA in and I'm like, I don't have enough stuff for them to do. Why did I, you know what I mean? Like, or I don't have enough time to teach them how to do the things. So I just end up doing it myself. So I'm definitely guilty of that.
Yes, that is one of my clients' his biggest struggle. And I have to coach them like just like when you start a job and you want training for that job, they need the exact same thing from you. You
Hmm.
are the CEO. So it is going to take literally 90 days to get them to a point where they are your double, where they're essentially you in various areas of your business. But But if you take that 90 days and you properly train your virtual assistant, number one, you have successfully kind of taken yourself out of the business somewhat.
Hmm.
So you're not necessarily required for it to run.
Yeah. Do you find, and I know the answer to this already because, I talk to a lot of business owners that it's so hard for them to take themselves out of it.
Yes. But here's the deal. We're never ever going to 100% leave our businesses.
Right.
I don't. I work crazy. But the difference is I'm working on the company.
Hmm.
So I can disappear for a month, 2 months, I could go for a year, and my company is still going to run in the same fashion that it is today. My job is not to run the company. My job is to make sure the company grows and goes forward in the right direction. That's my job. And if you are a CEO, which everyone who owns their own business is, your role is not every role in the company. You have a specific set role, and everything else outside of that should go to somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. It's it's so hard to change people's like you got to let go of that. How much is that? Like you're worth more than that, like why are you over here copying papers when you should be having somebody else copy papers? It's pretty crazy.
Because they think it costs them money.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a rookie mistake. They think that it costs them money. They haven't gone through enough books yet, and they haven't gone through enough like their business hasn't choked them hard enough yet for them to be like, okay, this ain't it.
yeah.
This
Yeah.
ain't it.
Yeah, and I would say that, in majority of companies that fail, it's probably on the business owner themselves because they don't know how to delegate. I see that a lot. They just don't understand what delegation means, and they don't know how to get out of the woods to see, like you said, I'm working on my company. I mean, still that I talk to on a daily they're still in the middle of it. I'm trying to tell them, you got to step out where you can see the big picture, and it's
You
so
can see
hard.
it. You
Yeah.
can see it. And it's the most this is the happy business owners that you guys see, those people have learned this.
Hmm.
This is what they do. There is not one company on the Inc. 500, not one that made it to the 10-year mark without employees. That is the one thing they all have absolutely in common. No matter what industry, no matter what the product is, no matter who the target market is, they all have employees. And you sitting here trying to be everybody. And you're tired.
Yeah. Or when they hire employees, they hire people exactly like themselves. So it's like they clone themselves and they don't get anything any different or any better, because they don't want anybody smarter than them. You know,
If not realizing if you're the smartest person in the room, you're really the stupidest.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, so what's one thing in your business that you didn't expect?
The virtual assistant service.
Okay.
That's the newest one that I did not expect. Because my staff are actually the ones who are like, hey, we should do this. And you know why my staff said that? Go ahead and
No.
tell them, T. Rob, you just said it.
Because you were doing too much.
And
You're
because I hired people who are different from me and they think differently and they saw an opportunity and said, hey, we could do this. And
yeah,
I listened.
yeah. And that's why you're successful, right?
Different personalities are amazing. My team is absolutely amazing. I don't know what I would do without those people.
Yeah, I mean, you get it, there's a lot of people that I talk to that don't. You know, like almost like an employee's a robot. You know what I mean? Like get your tasks done, and that's all I care about. And it's just much bigger and much more than that, and people just don't understand it.
And then another mistake people make when they hire virtual assistants, they want to hover them. They want to micromanage. Like, what's
Yeah.
the point of giving the task away if you're going to sit there and watch every pencil scribble?
Yeah. Yeah, you might as well just do it yourself if you're doing that. So,
You're just stressing two people out instead of one.
yeah. So with what you're doing right now, what's like one of the biggest challenges you face on the daily? Is there a certain thing like every day it's just like, I need to figure this out or fix it, or is there anything like that?
You know, I at this point, T Rob, every day has a problem, but I've been doing it for so long that it's just like, okay, here's something else we got to fix,
Yeah.
or here's something else I have to figure out. So at this point in my business, no, because I'm just so used to that being the norm.
That's good.
It's kind of like brushing my teeth at this point. Oh, you have a problem? Okay, well, what are we gonna do to fix it? Let's try this. Or what
Yeah.
ideas do you have? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. There's a point in business where you get to where problem solving is like brushing your teeth.
Is it, or you don't give a crap anymore? You're like, it's just another problem.
Right.
Yeah, I understand that. I always ask that question because for some people, they answer that, and I know there's other entrepreneurs going, "Oh my God, I'm dealing with the same thing." Like, thank you.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I can't point out just one because they're
No, that's
all
good.
they're all on the same level to me now. Which is a beautiful thing. Let me tell you, like the smile is genuine because I've let a lot of the stuff that is heavy in my business go. So yeah. But you know what? Has anybody else given you that answer?
No, they haven't.
So
So
there's a level that you guys haven't seen before. Somebody
that's
who
right.
just does
You're the winner. You're the winner. so like, what's a typical day in your office? I mean, are you and maybe that's a loaded question too, because maybe there's not a typical day, but I know that you do a lot of different things. Are you like, do you have teams working on certain things for a company, or what does it look like?
Yeah. So I believe that every company should be ran like a company with departments. So I have departments in my company. I have graphics, I have SEO, I have accounting, I have customer service, and I have, gatekeepers
Mm-hmm.
who work, things out for me. So I have different team members working on different things all day. But there's, how they always say there's a fortune in the follow up and in the niching down.
Yeah.
That's how I do and that's how every company does their positions. Because if you notice, every single company has a customer service department. So all they do all day long is customer service. And then they have an executive department where you have chief financial officers. They're just worried about the finances of the company.
Mm-hmm.
So I think people think niching down is kind of taking people out of their target market, or they're like, oh, I want to service everybody. But if you really look down to the fundamentals of niching down, you're already niched down. When you go to work, you're in a department that does one thing.
Yeah. That's
And it
true.
may have many functions, but it technically is the same thing. Like teachers teach.
Mhm.
You don't see the cafeteria lady in the classroom.
Right. Right.
It's another department.
Yeah. That makes a lot of
So
sense.
to answer your question, my typical day, I get up. I either start working right away or I go to the gym or I meditate. I get up really early. So I'm typically out the bed between 4 and 5 a.m. Um, that happened naturally because I just kind of my pattern changed.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not a morning person, it's okay. You'll do this at night. So I'll get up in the morning, get my day started, answering emails. Podcasts are typically part of the day.
Uh-huh.
I have meetings with different members of my staff, find out what we're doing, brainstorm any of the clients that I'm actually handling personally, or any of the client calls that I handle personally. I'll do that. And then I typically in the evenings is podcasts, events, and doing, the fun stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm hoping that people are listening, like you entrepreneurs or want to be entrepreneurs. I don't know if you just heard what she said, but she gets up between 4 and 5. And then at night she's doing podcasts and all the fun things. So just so you understand that, like a lot of people think it's greener, and I'm all for entrepreneurs in business, but the grass is not always greener as an entrepreneur. You work more hours than you do if you went to a 9 to 5. I mean, that's just, you never stop
Absolutely.
working. You never stop working. It's-
The term and I I have built a company culture of where my employees typically don't stop working either. Um and that's not by me. I am very, very big on people taking their personal time. I am so huge on when people put limitations and they gatekeep their time. So
yeah.
I'm very respectful of that. But I have to tell this story because it's hilarious. My assistant was feeling really bad, and she had been working a lot, and she was like, I'm just exhausted. So I was like, well, take the day off. Just take the day. I can't. You need this. You need this. And I was like, take the day. And she was like, I am. And so then, like maybe 45 minutes later, I get a notification that she's online. My assistant lives in my neighborhood. So I walk to her house because she thinks she's being funny. And she's like, she put a message like, yeah, I'm working just a little bit. Sheri can't do nothing about it. So I walked to her house, walked dead in the house, grabbed her laptop, and just started running. She's chasing me. The dog's chasing me. I'm out running all the time. And so then I get on the team chat and I'm just sitting here with her laptop like, I couldn't do nothing.
That's great. That just
So,
that just shows the connection you have.
yes, me and my team are who. We were
Yeah.
all laughing. Like, is that Lee's computer?
You know what's funny is you say you kind of like your team like works all the time too, but it's typical for a team to kind of follow the leader, right? Like they they almost become like you, and you know what I
Oh,
mean? And it's not like you do anything to cause that. It's just that it's a natural gravitation in the business world. Like you,
it really is.
I mean, that's just the truth of it. So,
And I am
uh,
the most laid back employer. Like I am our company culture is so dope. And that is also something that I teach. I mentor people on how to create good company culture and how to get the most out of their employees. Because some people don't understand that you get more with honey. You get more with honey. You get more.
yeah,
Um, so I make sure that my employees always feel appreciated. They are showered with gifts. And for those who may have staff right now and you don't know how to pull the best out of them, I would definitely say the number one thing is you have to take the blame first.
hmm,
You have to take the blame. As CEO of your company, everything that happens there is your fault. So anytime that I have to have a conversation with one of my employees because their performance is not up to par, I'm not saying what's going on with them. I'm saying what have I not provided you with to make you successful in your job?
yeah,
Where have I been lacking? Like, do you need more time with me? Do we need to do more coaching meetings? Is there a course that I can get for you? Is there some education? Like, where have I failed you to
yeah,
where you are not performing? That changes how your conversation goes because it's not their fault. It's my fault. What has the company not done?
hmm,
And so if you get nothing else from this, you'll be a better boss just using that one tip.
yeah, yeah. Kindness is a big thing, and people forget that. And you know what's, and we've all worked for people that you don't even want to talk to, like you can't have a conversation with them. You're just like, I'm not going to talk to that
Woo!
person. And I'm similar to you. I'm real laid back, and I'm not like you know in your face type thing, because the truth be told, you said it exactly. And there's a lot of business owners that cannot do what you just said, take the blame for failure. And that's when you own a business, it's on you. It's not your employee. It's not the distributor that brings the product in. It's on you. And a lot of people have egos in the business world. You've been around them. I have too. It's like, bro, you're not any better than anybody else. Like, so, yeah,
And we all, even especially when our businesses get a little bit more successful, our egos will come out in times because
yeah,
people will pull them out of you, honestly. Especially if you're around that person who has the mouthpiece that they're big and you're just like, come on, guy, come on.
yeah, yep. I hear you.
You kind of have to come. But for the most part, if that part of me is not pulled out, I'd be like, dude, even when somebody's like, oh, well, your ego is okay, well, what am I doing? Like, tell me how I'm offending you to the point where you're saying it as ego so that I can. It's a lot of self-growth in entrepreneurship.
Oh yeah, you find yourself quick. I mean, oof. Yeah, you either find yourself or you go to those vices you were talking about earlier, those unhealthy ones.
You
So,
might be sitting there together.
yeah, right.
I was
So,
looking for you.
yeah, hey, nice to meet you here. Um, so in your opinion, like, because we're trying to talk to entrepreneurs, like, is there a personality trait or strength that like someone that's wanting to get into business should have?
No, yes. There is one thing that everyone should have, and that is the what's the best way to say this? The mindset set that collaboration is going to be the best thing for your weaknesses.
That's great. That's perfect. I like that.
Yes, If you can go in with the mindset that here is my one area that I'm good at, let me find people who are good in the areas that I'm not, you will make so much money so fast.
Yeah. Yeah. You
So
know,
fast.
it's funny, like when I was I mean, I used to coach sports and play, college sports, but I always coach kids and told them it's like the little things. Like it's the little things that wins and loses games. And it's the same thing in business. And like people just understand it's like one little tweak can make you just be successful or not. So I love that. I mean, it's cool. I don't know why I'm saying that. I don't know where that came from. I just wanted to share it. Anyway.
Because that's a little tweak. Everybody always thinks that they have to do everything by themselves.
Yeah.
And just like there's no I in team, a business is a team sport.
Oh yeah.
That is literally on my Facebook page. Business is a team sport.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with you 110%. So, I saw that you do speaking as well. I mean, what is that
Absolutely.
like? What kind of speaking do you do? I mean, what do you do? Where do you go talk to people about?
So I talk to people about a couple of different things. Motivation is definitely one. The real roadblocks of entrepreneurship, kind of some of the ones I've mentioned today. And I also talk about how to build a team culture, how to hire, why it's important, and financials, business credit, why the difference between wills and trust.
Hmm.
Just all of the things that we need to know about money so that we can use it as the tool that it is. So those are some of the speeches that I give out to the people who I have the pleasure of meeting when I'm out and about.
Gotcha. So what's an ideal client for you? Is there one?
Yes, everybody should have an ideal client. I am my ideal client, and that's crazy. That does not happen often, but I am actually my ideal client, which is a entrepreneur who is serious about their business, who is between 28 and 45, that is serious about getting their company to 7 and 8 figures, and is extremely easy to work with and understands entrepreneurship or have enough of an understanding to where they're coachable to get to the next level.
Gotcha. I don't know what's going on. Your audio's kind of like went weird. Like you're
Did it?
oh
Hold on.
there. Wait, it came back. Wait. Go ahead. I don't know. It was kind of like you were in a like 800,000 miles away. Like, but that
Is that better?
yeah, that's better. That's better.
Okay. That's weird.
Yeah, it just
But yeah,
weird.
that's
Okay. I always ask because I want people to reach out to you if they're looking, for help and learning leadership and all kinds of stuff. Branding, you help with branding.
oh my
Uh,
goodness gracious. One of my one of my business besties is a branding specialist, and she's like, "You're going to get the eye, and when you get it, it's gonna drive you crazy." I have it; it sucks. But if I look, I can't just have you out there looking any kind of way.
yeah. Yeah, and I think as a business coach and dealing with startups, it's like that hard conversation that sometimes you go, "Oh Lord, you need branding," because they come in with this logo and it's just like I don't even know what you do,
And
and
it's a cartoon character, isn't it?
yeah,
Don't,
yeah,
folks, please do not do the cartoon. Like, that is a dead giveaway you're a new business. Unless you're a cupcake company.
yeah, yep,
Unless you're baking, that is about the only time, or it's something with children. Those are the only time you can have characters.
mm,
Otherwise, just
yep,
simplicity is best.
yep. So here's another question I always ask everyone that comes on. Do you have a favorite productivity hack for entrepreneurs? Maybe something that you use or you would suggest?
Blocks. Block your time. So if you are if you have a ton of stuff to do for a day, pick the activities that are most alike. So if you have to do, let's say you have 12 clients and you have 3 that are in column A, 3 in column B, 4 in column C, do them in those each one, no matter what order they came in. If that's the block they're in, that's the block. Because when you focus your mind on one task, you do it faster. So time blocking is key.
That's beautiful. Thank you for that. Do you have any books you recommend?
Oh my God. My very first book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by
Oh
Dale
yeah.
Carnegie.
Yep.
I
Beautiful, great book.
Think and Grow Rich is amazing. Richest Man in Babylon is amazing. But that book, I feel that that's the foundation book.
Good. Good. That's great. So,
It,
and
it's
yeah, go
it's
ahead.
not aggressive, but it tells you what you need to know to really get a foundation of people who you're working with every day anyway.
Yeah, true. Yeah, good advice. Great books there. So, hey, what's one question you wish I would have asked you that I haven't asked you?
Can I fly
Oh,
in a
okay.
plane? I sure can. I can
You
fly in a plane.
you can. Okay. Are you a pilot?
No.
But you can fly. That's good. That's
Right.
good.
I will sit right there with my drink, seatbelt on,
Nice.
feet under the seat in front of me. But no, you've asked some really, really, really great questions. A question that you did not ask.
And that doesn't have to be one. That's always one that's kind of fun.
Ooh,
People. Yeah.
who do I look up to in business?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm going to ask you that question. Who do you look up to?
So if I'm looking at mentors above me, then I would definitely say Robert Kiyosaki,
Okay.
Kevin Hart. Kevin
Mhm.
Hart has been killing it.
Mhm.
Definitely Kevin Hart and everybody on Shark Tank.
Everybody.
Everybody on Shark Tank. And it's just Shark Tank because individually, Mark Cuban is my guy. But Shark Tank, love that
Yeah.
show. And it gives you really good ideas. Um,
That's a dangerous
if
show. Dangerous show for me because my entrepreneur mind just gets going at 10 million miles an hour. I'm like, I'm gonna do
you
this
still have
tomorrow.
you still have your shiny
Oh
object
yeah.
syndrome.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't think it'll ever go away.
You know how I turned mine off? For a good long time, I didn't listen or watch anything that wasn't pertaining to what I was currently working on. That's how I
Uh-huh.
broke it.
Yeah. That's smart. Very smart.
It took about 2 months of me just being like, "Oh, that podcast? Nope, I'm not working on that. I can't watch that."
Yeah. Yeah. So where can the listeners find you? I mean, we got your website
Everywhere.
up. Got your website up. I know they can connect with you there, which is a really good website, by the way. I wanted to tell you that.
Thank you. We're still poking around. So we gotta get some buttons working because I just upgraded from our original one,
Hmm.
which was making me feel terrible every day. So
Work in
there,
progress.
yeah, there is a point, ladies and gentlemen, where you outgrow your own company, and then the old one, you're just like, get me out. You're like a reptile in their skin. Like, get me out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's-
So to find me, you can Google me, Sheri Michele, and that is on the thing, the correct spelling. Um, for the listeners, that's Sheri, and then Michelle is Michele. You'll find my Facebook, my LinkedIn, my Instagram. You will find YouTube videos of me, any current events I have going. So Google is definitely the best place. But then if you don't want to find me on Google, you can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram.
Anywhere and everywhere.
Any and everywhere. My team does an amazing job of that.
Good. Good deal. Well, I appreciate your time, and been a pleasure. And I'd love to have you back down the road, and we can talk again.
Absolutely.
Or something fun comes up that you want to jump on the show and talk about, you let me know. Uh,
Yeah, in fact, actually, if you are in or near Dallas, Texas, for St. Patrick's Day, I will be speaking at a sales conference. So the
nice.
details are currently on my Facebook page. Because it was coming soon till this morning, and now it's here. So you can go to Eventbrite and purchase tickets to come hear me talk about the power of sales, because that's my absolute favorite part of business. Just
Very
FYI.
cool. Very cool.
Sales is my thing.
Yeah. Well, good deal. Well, you have a great evening. And again, thank you. I'm going to throw your website up one more time. It's suddensuccess.com. Hey, if you need her help, or if you're an entrepreneur that's thinking about getting into business, this lady right here would probably really be a great mentor for you, and probably tell you the real deal about how it is instead of some of the other people that
Absolutely.
give you all the fake news. So
There is no fake news here. I one of my mottos is the truth ain't popular. That's why I use it.
there you go. There you go. Well, you have a great evening, and thank you so much for coming on, and I'll catch you next time.
All right. It's been a blast.
See ya. All right. That was really fun. Sheri Michele brought it. And if you're wanting, thinking about starting a business, maybe you're already in the middle of business, just need help. She's a great resource. Her company could definitely help you. It's suddensuccess.com right there. Go check them out and look her up. If you're in the Dallas area, go to her Facebook page. She's going to be doing a speaking session on sales, and everyone needs to know more about sales, right? That's what your business is all about anyway, that people don't understand you're selling yourself, even if you don't have a product to sell. So anyway, um, that's it for me. Thank you for tuning in. I'll catch you next week, Tuesday, Thursday next week. I don't remember who's coming in. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but we'll have some more great guests for you. We're also starting to do some pre-recorded, because we have so many people wanting to come on the show. So we're going to have loaded content. I'm going to try to get more content out daily, and hopefully it's helping you, because I learn a lot myself. So thanks for tuning in to the Biz Pulse, and I will catch you next time.